Hello guys, how are we doing? Today's video is going to contain information about the new season which drops today. Season 5 is out probably as this video drops. We're going to be covering content surrounding Modern Warfare 2 ranked play, as well as this stunning gameplay we've got ahead of us. So I think I dropped 32 kills and 11 deaths, so it's a pretty stellar gameplay, nearly 3 KD. So if you're here for just watching a bit of Crimson / Iridescent level gameplay, fabulous, because this is what this is. However, if you're here to learn about patch notes and Season 5, then this is also the place to be. So to kick things off, there's a couple of things that I just want to mention. First things first is that there's a whole bunch of content here for the general, general multiplayer enjoyer. There's a lot of content. There's going to be 3 new maps coming out this whole season. I think 2 come early. One's a remake of a COD 4 map called Strike, which is an absolute banger of a map. There's 3 new guns. There's animals you can get now. There's also a little personal assistant that pops up. There's a whole bunch of UI that's changed, as well as the main screen. So if you guys have jumped onto Season 5 COD at the moment, the first thing you're gonna notice is a huge Season 5 change in the menu display. In my opinion, it's a little bit better. I think we're used to it by now. But yeah, there's a huge amount of content they've just pumped into this. So it seems like they're sort of building up to really master Modern Warfare 3 when it comes out in November. So hopefully all these additions they're adding into this patch are going to continue through to it. As far as Modern Warfare 2 rank play is concerned, if you've tried to play today, it's obviously been a little bit offline, and that's because they've had to close down the servers just so they can up rank people and de-rank people and things like that. So it will be back and live. Last season it was late. I think it was about 9 or 10 o'clock at night UK time before it came out. So if rank play isn't there when you load up Modern Warfare 2 after the update, don't worry. Chances are it's just because it hasn't been updated yet and the playlist isn't fully available. But give it some time. Maybe try a few hours after the update and it should be good to go. Talking of which, there's not really much new towards the Modern Warfare 2 rank play scene, so we're going to be covering this first things first. Other than the fact that there's now camo incentives to rank up. So previously, you would get a character skin as well as a calling sign and emblem, potentially, depending if you got high enough, showing what was your highest achieved rank within Modern Warfare 2 in that season. This season, it's going to be a weapon camo in there as well. So it's actually, this is what it is. This is the iridescent one, which for those of you who are sweatbags like myself, we're probably going to get this one. There is a top 250 one as well, which is quite clean. It's like a gold and white one. But this is them for them all. So whatever you get your highest rank in Modern Warfare 2, this is what camo you're going to get. If I'm being completely honest, I love this. I think this should have been in the game from the off. But hopefully, I'm not too bummed about it, because hopefully this is something that they can implement into Modern Warfare 3 rank play as soon as the game drops. So yeah, slow, incremental steps of getting better rank play, I don't mind. It's a little bit of a shame it's a bit late for this game, but as I say, if they can implement it into the next COD, we're good to go. I'm happy with everything they're adding. For those of you who are not sure about how the ranks will reset, you will be reset 3 tiers lower than what you were before. It's the same as what happened last season. So if you are, let's say, Gold 3, you'll go back down to Silver 3. Let's say you were Diamond 2, you'll go down to Platinum 2, until you get to Crimson. Once you are Crimson, the highest you will get back down to is Diamond 1. So anyone Crimson and above, no matter even if you're in the top 250, you're all going to get put back down to Diamond 1 and start from there. So essentially, everyone's going to be 3 tiers lower than what they are, unless they're Crimson, in which case, Crimson and above, in which case they would start at Diamond 1. So you are going to get people ranging from Crimson 1 all the way to top 250 players playing within that Diamond 1, playing within that Diamond sort of lobbies. So it's going to be a sweat fest to start things off. So that's that. As far as gun balancing is concerned, there's been a couple of buffs to a couple of SMGs. So not much has been touched on the TAC or the Vaznev. However, on the SMGs, you've got a damage increase. So you've got a big buff from X9. So you've got damage increase, multiplier increases left, right, and center. Lockman sub's been nerfed, so you're probably going to see a little bit less of that if you saw it at all. The Vel has been buffed, so you might see a little bit more of the Vel. So I saw that was a bit of a different flex gun, a bit of a different SMG people like to use. So the Vel's been a bit buffed. So the neck multiplier has increased, the upper torso multiplier has increased, and the lower torso multiplier has increased. So basically just going to be a little bit more efficient at range. And then the Baz P has actually got a buff. So the maximum damage range has increased, and then the multiplier has also increased as well. So it's going to be interesting to see maybe a mix-up of the meta and rank play. I know people were getting a little bit bored. It's a little bit stale using the same 2 guns. So Now is your chance, if you're a submachine gun player, to use a different submachine gun, because a bunch of them have been buffed, so it'll be good to see a little bit of diversity in the class setups. I'll be trying them out myself, and hopefully I can get a video on some of them, depending on whether or not I can drop a decent enough gameplay. There's also been some audio fixes and a couple of bits like that, but other than that, that's pretty much it for rank play. Other than one huge movement change. So I say huge, I haven't seen it in action yet, so I don't know how like considerable it is, but generally speaking, this sounds great. So first things first, the slide has been buffed. So the wording they've put is decreased slide time and increased slide velocity. So the player covers the same distance in a shorter amount of time. So essentially what they're saying is the slide distance will be the same, but it will just be much faster. So you'll be able to evade a little bit easier with slide. It's going to be a little bit more maneuverable. And as well as it being generally faster, you will be able to shoot your weapon even sooner after sliding. So slide cancelling might be viable. Like, they might be a little bit more viable than it was. If I'm honest, sliding was a little bit redundant in this game. It was pretty much not used, especially in the higher ranks. So it might it might introduce more people to try and slide to evade rather than diving. But in any case, I hope it's not abused, and I hope it's well balanced still. But I'm up for this. I like a little bit of movement change. Hopefully they're trying things out towards the latter stages of Modern Warfare 2 in hope they can gather data and get a little bit more of a real intel in Modern Warfare 3. As well as the sliding movement buff, they've also adjusted the way jumping works. So the wording they've got here is a small increase to the lateral velocity boost while jumping. So essentially what that means is that the jump will be the same. It's very similar to sliding. The jump will be the same. You'll be able to jump the same height, but you'll just get from the floor to where the maximum height much quicker. So you'll just be able to jump quicker, essentially. The movement in the jump will be quicker. As well as that, when you land, there's not as much as a penalty anymore. So when you land, you are going to be able to shoot your gun quicker. There's not going to be so much of a bob. What a huge, lovely 4-piece, by the way. In the gameplay, if you're wondering. But yeah, so there's a small reduction to the landing slowdown penalty whilst landing as well after a jump. So you're going to be able to slide, you're going to be able to jump a little bit more, and there's going to be a little bit more movement versatility in the map. So I'm hoping, I haven't obviously tested this in game yet because of the videos pre-recorded. But yeah, I'm hyped to see what changes these are, and I hope they're considerable enough to make a difference in the gameplay, because it is getting a little bit stale pre-aiming, doing what I'm doing right now. It's a little bit boring, and I'd like to up the momentum a little bit and get a little bit more fast-paced action. Talking of rank play, there has been the release of distribution of where people were in the ranks. I'm going to put it on screen now for you guys, but essentially, it's very similar to last month. So we'll start from the bottom. If you are bronze, you are in the bottom 14.6% of gamers who played at least 30 games of rank play. This doesn't include inactive accounts. In order to be a data pool within this data pool shown on here, you have to have played at least 30 matches. So this is a fairly accurate representation of people who have been playing it. So 14, or let's say 15% of people were in bronze, 25% of people were in silver. So that's what, 40% of people. So you're in the bottom 40% if you're in silver. 26% of people out of everybody are in fact in gold. So that's the largest population here, similar to what we've seen in previous seasons. So what does that mean? 25.4. So that's about 66% of people are within those first three categories there. So you're in the bottom 66%, or maybe the top 40%, you could say, if you're in the higher regions of gold. Just under 19% of the population managed to get platinum, which means you're in the top 25%, I want to say. The top 20%, give or take, depending on how high you're up in platinum. So that's huge. That's actually brilliant. If you're in platinum, you're actually in the top quarter of the gameplay, the player base we've got currently. Diamond, 10% of the population are in diamond, or within the top 15% of gamers. Crimson, if you managed to get Crimson, well done. I know a lot of you guys managed to get Crimson last season, but let me know what you guys got to down below. It was interesting to see what sort of level my viewers are. So yeah, top 5% if you're in Crimson. Now, if you're in Crimson 3, chances are you're in the top 1% maybe. But generally speaking, if you're at the bottom end of Crimson, you're going to be within the top 4.7% of gamers. Now, if you made it to Iridescent like myself, you're a nerd, and you are in the top 0.7% of all Call of Duty rank play players who played at least 30 matches. So yeah, cheers to those sweatbags like myself. So yeah, that's quite interesting to see. Other than that, there's not too much else to cover as far as Modern Warfare 2 rank play is concerned. I will leave the patch notes in the description if you guys want to check it out. As I said, there's a huge amount of content this season. it's nice to see, but I'd have loved the content earlier. I think they like to do this because it revives the game a little bit more. It makes more people come to the game, and it spaces out the play base, so people come back for a few games, for a few days, maybe a week, to play the new things, play the new maps, play the new guns. But I'm gonna leave the patch notes in the description if you guys want to check it out yourself. But yeah, my general, I obviously haven't covered Warzone. I'm not that sort of content creator, and general multiplayer bits I've just sort of breezed over. But my I love this. I love this amount of content in every season. I'd love it to be in every season, sorry. And it's a shame it's not. But hey, it is what it is. What I'm hoping for is that these small changes they are making are just almost a test run, because I'm very pessimistic about how Modern Warfare 3 is going to be. I'm 99% sure it's pretty much going to be almost a reskin of this with some new maps and new guns. It's going to feel basically the same. So I'm hoping the changes they're making to the movement in Modern Warfare 2 is going to reflect how things are going to look in Modern Warfare 3. I'm glad they're trying things out at the stage of the game where the competitive season's ended and the play base is maybe getting a little bit smaller. I don't mind them trying things, so I'm all up for that. But let me know what you guys think. Are you happy with what you're seeing in these patch notes? What would you like to see more of? And yeah, how are you vibing? What's the general feel about this season 5 release? So that's going to do it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed the gameplay and the patch note read, and I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao.
I went neg somehow. I don't know how.
You like that map, Harry, don't you? You got it on S&D as well.
It's just holding cuts, mate. +25.
If you're sat